You are listening to Amazingly Terrible, and this week we're reviewing Starfleet X Bomber Season 1, Episode 18, Destroy the Prison Planet.
You're listening to Amazingly Terrible. We are your friends and have only your best interest at heart. My name's Adam.
My name's Matt. Friend Matt.
I am Comrade David.
Hello, comrade.
And I'm Barry fucking Hercules, and this week is Starfleet X Bomber.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, how was your week?
Pretty good for myself.
Was it as good as Starfleet X Bomber?
No, this actually was like the icing, because my week was like super busy, so I didn't get a chance to actually watch this until today. And in all fairness, I think I was up like super late last night, like till 2 a.m., and I think I watched it at some point in time in there. And I was like, maybe I like this so much because I'm like delirious from sleep deprivation. Then I watched it first thing this morning, and I was like, nope, this is it.
You were like, was this just a one-night stand?
No.
Then I saw Starfleet Bomber X,
Right.
waking up in bed next to me in my dress shirt,
Yeah. Her hair all thrown across her pillow.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you just called your mom. Mom, I'm going to get married.
I think she's the one. Mom, I hope you're ready for some goddamn ridiculous children that are half puppet, half human hybrids.
Yeah. We're going to have 3 kids, Mom. The skinny one, the fat one, and Barry fucking Hercules.
Nice.
Yeah. Barry Hercules isn't even a space pilot.
No,
It's just Barry
that
Hercules.
really is the best.
I'm
Yes.
Barry Hercules.
Oh, man.
It's like
Okay.
he completely wandered in from another fucking show.
And his voice actor, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's just fucking amazing.
Okay, so
All right.
this is also the
All right.
rare occasion where we are all drinking while we're podcasting. So
Appropriately.
what is everybody's drink of choice today?
My drink of choice is a good stiff pull on the old vaporizer, and then a Narragansett lager.
Yeah, Ganny's. No longer made in Rhode Island, though.
Nice.
Oh my
actually-
god!
I had one of those during a theater screening of Labyrinth a few weeks ago.
Very good.
Nice.
No longer
That's
made
actually-
in Rhode Island. I thought this tasted clean.
Yeah, it's made in New York now.
David, you
That's
went
the
to
beer that they were drinking in Jaws, by the way. Like when they were
nice.
out with Quint on his boat or whatever. Yeah, and
nice little bit of trivia.
Narragansett last year actually released that retro can design from the 70s that they had in the movie or whatever. So you could get the 1970 whatever it was version of the can.
They
Ganny
love
is
doing
just
that.
cheap shit beer.
Hey,
But you can pound them.
don't you talk about my Ganny that way.
And you go fish for fucking sharks.
It's true, but they don't run through you the way a Budweiser does. Like I could pound 12 Budweisers and never feel drunk.
Yeah.
I can only do like 8 or so Narragansetts.
That's right, dude. Quint knew what was fucking going on in Jaws, dude. He wasn't fucking around with that 3%, 4% beer.
Nah,
He was getting in on those high ABV IPAs before there were high ABV IPAs.
I could see
But they
Clint
were
being pretty
kids.
fucked up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see Matt pounding a Narragansett and then like reaching up and pulling a tooth out, then just shrugging his shoulders and sticking it in his pocket.
Fuck no, I'm not keeping it.
You're gonna flick that out of the window
Yeah.
into the streets of New York. Yeah.
I just see if I can flick it under the couch and forget about it.
Well, I am drinking Cantankerous Stout from Groundbreaker, which is an Oregon-based brewery, and I know absolutely nothing about because it's one of the free beers that I got from samples from my store. So, and it's not very good. I have the buyer's remorse right now.
Didn't you get this for free?
But don't do the trick. Yeah, I got it for free. Still got the buyer's remorse, though. I got other free beers in the fridge I should be drinking.
Oh, because you know the buyer at your store, and you feel their remorse.
Exactly.
Somebody's taking that thing home and going, this stuff sucks.
Well, in all fairness, I'm pretty sure we are not selling this in our store at all. So this is just something a rep had dropped off to try to get us to sell it. So.
Nice.
And then I also have Mogu Mogu, which is a muskmelon drink that's got a bunch of hunks of muskmelon floating in it.
What is a muskmelon?
Yeah.
It's like
Sounds sexy.
It's like the green melons that you see in Japan. It's what all the melon product in Japan is made out of, is muskmelon.
Oh, gotcha.
So.
I didn't know that.
Muskmelon is my new porn name.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I've got a Stacy's Mom Citra IPA by Evil Genius Brewing.
Do you like this Evil Genius Brewing Company?
I do. I believe they're out of Philly. Yeah, they are. So.
Ah, wow.
They have a bunch of good ones that I like.
I'm drinking Feed the Monkey from the Jailbreak Brewing Company.
Jailbreak. Nice.
Nice.
I've seen that beer before.
Yeah, there's
Jailbreak's out of this area.
There's some banana and some orange zest in it.
Mmm.
I highly suggest looking for a beer with a banana as an ingredient.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh.
I could see that, especially for a Hefeweizen. I think
Yeah.
that'd be nice.
It sounds good, but I'm allergic to bananas.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have anything in a more raspberry?
Well, the other beers by this company are IPAs and...
Yeah, everything's an IPA now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything's an IPA. Even the stouts.
Yeah. We live in the dark, bitter end of the rule of the IPAs.
Yep.
Ironic.
When their corrupt oligarchy has ruled our society for too long.
I welcome our IPA overlords.
You traitor bastard.
You average white dad.
Well, you got me.
I could actually see, like, if doing like a chocolate stout with a banana, that actually sounds really interesting to me too.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. Is it just me, or anytime you hear there's zest in something, you're like, ooh, classy? Oh, there's zest in it?
Yeah.
There's the garbage part of oranges?
The part with all the pesticides on it, right? Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
So my dad used to eat the orange peel.
Really?
He would eat the orange, and then he would also eat the peel.
Wait, he would eat the peel after eating the orange.
I think sort of at the same time.
Okay.
I didn't see it very often, but every once in a while he would eat the orange peel and the orange.
You wouldn't see it very often, but every now and again you'd look your father in the eye and say, "You're a psychopath, aren't you?"
Yeah. Are you imagining that's my sked?
That's just ultra fucking bitter.
Yeah, I've heard of
know.
people. I've heard of people eating like the core of apples and even the core of pears with some frequency. But eating like the skin of an orange. Did he do the same thing with grapefruits?
No, never came up with grapefruits.
Other citrus?
He would eat the pits of plums, but that was the only.
He'd eat the pits?
No.
No, he did
Okay,
not.
Jesus, I was going to say.
The pits of plums are like heavy in cyanide.
Yeah, he's going to poison himself.
Did I mention my dad falls down a lot?
I did not know your dad did that.
I've seen people eat peanuts whole.
Oh, the
Like
exterior.
roasted peanuts?
Yeah, eating the
Like
exterior.
the roasted ones? I'll do that on
Those
occasion.
normal, like, bulk peanuts.
Yeah, the ones that are
Jeez.
roasted that are salty on the
No,
outside. Because
just
when you crack
normal
it...
plain peanuts.
Like uncut.
They don't crack
Yeah,
it, they just
packing
eat
peanuts.
Oh, yeah, no, I won't do that.
There's a company based out of Tennessee called Uncle Bud's. And they actually do fried peanuts where they'll fry like the whole thing, whole and all. And the whole is actually edible that way. Or I should say palatable, because I think it's always edible. But it's more palatable.
Pretty much
than
most
deep fried.
everything in the world is edible.
Yeah.
Yes, you can eat most everything.
Most
Well, as long as you
want
can get your
to.
mouth around it, yeah.
Most things in the world are edible, in my opinion.
The act of eating it, yes.
Yes.
I think the reason why when we hear zest, we think fancy is because we've been programmed by 90s commercials, and we always used to have to hear about people being zestfully clean all the time.
You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean.
That's true. That is extra clean.
Actually, I thought it was just like covering yourself up with extra deodorant that made you smell zesty.
I mean, it's one of those marketing terms that they use in commercials that is unprovable, right? They can't prove that this soap will make you clean, but it will make you, quote unquote, zestfully clean.
There we go.
So it's like one of it's unprovable. Yeah.
That qualifier protects them from any type of future indemnification.
Right. So if when the shit doesn't work and your sheets aren't, quote unquote, cleaner, they're not making a claim. They are saying that it has an undefinable zest-like quality.
Well, speaking of depositing zest, Derek, you watched a program for us this week?
Yeah, we heard you watch some sort of cartoon, Derek.
I didn't watch a cartoon.
Non-cartoon.
We watched Starfleet X Bomber, which was a Japanese marionette tokusatsu. Did I say that right? Tokusatsu TV series. It ran in the early 80s. It was heavily influenced by previous series using, like, similar to Jerry Anderson's Super Marionation works, and it took a lot of influences from Star Wars and a lot of the previous, kind of Japan TV shows at the time. Well, it was released over there as X Bomber, and it ran for 25 episodes, and then it was given an English dub and then aired in the UK in the early 80s. And it only aired 24 episodes. So we watched episode 18, but in reality there was another episode that was episode 18 that didn't get dubbed into English, and that one was called Bloody Mary's Promotion. And the reason that they didn't bring that over into English is because almost the entire episode was flashbacks. So they figured that this show could be, like, they didn't need the episode to tell the story. When we started watching it, at least from my perspective, and I'm sure you guys are the same way too, is they jump right into the story without any fucking introduction of what's going on. And one of the main reasons that was the case is because this TV show, unlike a lot of other TV shows at the time, had an overarching plot. Like, there was, like, episode 1 through episode 25 was written out as a story. So when we find our...
Plot's a strong word.
Yeah, but I'm just saying there was stuff interconnected. Like, so it all starts out, and they're trying to search for Princess Lamia, or Lama, or however you say her name.
Lamia.
And there's no explanation as to why they're looking for her. They're like, we're just looking for her. Like, she's out here somewhere. Well,
I believe they use the term aimlessly multiple times.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just floating in fucking space. But it's because in previous episodes they had introduced who she was. Another thing that I could not kind of really find with this show is, so if you go kind of look up the cast or whatever, there's another guy, Captain Holly, who's trying to be like an empath with Princess Lamia, and then it doesn't really say who that guy is. He's just there. He's fucking talking through his brain. But anyways,
it was dubbed, being a fucking Eldar, man.
Yeah, it was dubbed in English, and it aired on October 23rd, 1982, with an interesting fact. That was the day before Star Wars, the OG one, was aired for the first time on British television.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, this drew heavily on Star Wars influences, which, I mean, the name of the show is X Bomber. It looks like a fucking X-Wing. Japanese anime, Super Marionation, the Jerry Anderson stuff. And it's highly fucking entertaining. Not because it's great. No. But it's just highly, highly entertaining. And so that's kind of the base background of it. And I know I'd asked David earlier, like, hey, how did you find this? It says that this ran on syndicated U.S. television. I can't seem to find anywhere of, like, an actual run date of it. Did it run in the U.S. on, like, ultra late night TV somewhere? Maybe. But the big two audiences that it was broadcast to was Japan and then the UK. And another interesting fact about this is these are actually not marionettes. These are puppets that are controlled by rods from the bottom. So when you watch the show, you don't get full body shots of the puppets at times because there are puppeteers below the stage that they're doing their job. So you get kind of the bouncy motion to to simulate walking on it. There are a couple shots where the puppet itself is sitting down and you see their legs, but when it comes to like seeing it walk across the screen, you don't see that. You just kind of see it bounce, almost like South Park style.
So, like, what you're saying is the difference between marionettes and puppets is like stalactites and stalagmites. It's all where it grows from. And marionettes grow down from the fingers of the puppet master, and puppets grow up from the fingers.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, I'm glad we. That's a science fact, everyone.
It's a science. It's a
There you go.
200% true science fact.
200% true.
So, kind of base background for the show is it's the year 2099 or 2999. There's 2 months before the year 3000.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they even mentioned that
2
in
Earth
here,
months
yeah.
before the year 3000. Like, it is boom. Everybody's cool, and all of a sudden a giant alien battlecruiser shows up, and that's the Empire, the Imperials.
The Eldar. Dark Eldar.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so what's going on is the crew of Starfleet X Bomber are trying to save the mysterious F-01, which is Princess Lamia.
Oh, I thought it was a car.
As it
Yeah.
turns out, it's Princess Lamia. Yeah.
It's not a sexy car?
She
a
somehow
sexy
can
puppet.
save the humans from the Imperials. The end. Like, that's the big overarching story, and we're following our intrepid
okay.
crew.
I mean, with bangs alone, she could do it.
Yeah.
Tremendous
So-
bangs.
I'm going to go reload my beer, and then I'm going to get into the synopsis on this. And
Nice.
is that when you want to, as we're going, like, just be like, and this is the moment it happened for me when I was
Yeah.
all in on this. Okay, I'll be right back. We launch right into this show. The opening and concluding song for the show was actually done by a Japanese rock band named Bow Wow. I don't know anything about them other than the fact that they were big enough. They were active in Japan from 75 to 83 and then 95 to present, and they are a Japanese heavy metal rock band.
I know something about them. They fucking rock.
Yeah, they probably do.
all the music in this show, fucking
Yeah.
rocks.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Heavy synthesizers, like totally synthed out.
Yeah.
So it starts out Starfleet, which Starfleet was actually only in the British version of the show. The show was actually called X Bomber, and I think I mentioned that. For whatever reason, when they did the English dub of the show, they decided they needed to add Starfleet to the front of it. So the show opens, this killer synth track starts, you see the X Bomber, and then the next thing we see a bunch of puppets, people, in uniforms that we don't see ever again in the entire show. Like, they're in these awesome military uniforms. They got this killer fucking hair, these total chin strap beards. No clue who these people are at all whatsoever. They're like saluting each other and shit.
Yeah.
The next thing we know is we have close-ups of kind of our main heroes in the show. We've got a Japanese guy, a rotund ginger, and a black dude with an afro, and then a
Barry
basketball
fucking
legs.
Hercules.
Oh no, we're getting there.
Fucking Hercules.
So the montage continues for a couple more seconds. We see the lead dude, the doctor, and then we start introducing our heroes. And we have space pilot Shiro Hagen, space pilot John Lee, and then the black guy goes, "I'm Barry Hercules." And that's the fucking moment this show got me. I was 100%. I was like, this dude has no rank. This dude is just on his name alone. He's got a killer fucking afro, huge sideburns. He's the only one dressed in any sort of like military like camo garb, and he's just, I'm Barry Hercules. And I was like, I'm sold. I want to see where fucking Barry Hercules and the boys go.
And you were like, yeah, you are.
Yeah. This is what our culture would be like if we were a true meritocracy. Barry Hercules would just rise to the level that he deserves.
Just based off of his name alone.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just those syllables together, those vowels and nouns brought together should propel that man into the future.
So, anyways, the synth montage continues. We see pictures of the evil bad guys, Captain America, and the Empire, the Imperials, essentially. We also get a little bit of foreshadowing to the fact that this one flew over my head in the intro, but later on in the episode, of course they totally have a mech suit. Like they totally have a fucking Voltron on this thing.
Oh yeah.
And so you see that, you see Princess Lamia, you see all this stuff. And then it's introduced to us that Princess Lamia is missing. She's been captured.
Well, first they open on a scene with our three main characters.
Well, the voiceover is telling us that Princess Lamia has been captured, and the X-Bomber is out in space, aimlessly looking for her in in all of space. We're just kind of going wherever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
And it's our three. I'll classify them as the heroes, whatever. Essentially, the three pilots, the three fighter pilots that are on the crew.
There's truly an epic global universal scope here, and it just happens that our eye is directed. It flows over these characters at a moment of great importance for them.
Yeah, Shiro's laying in bed, bitching.
Shiro
Barry
wears...
is helmet to bed.
He's laying in bed with his fucking helmet on.
Yeah,
That's Shiro has one of those head molding baby therapy to keep his fucking head in the correct shape.
To ensure that his fontanelle does not heal incorrectly. Yes.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
And they just gotten done explaining how Lamia was trying to communicate psychically. So I thought this was like the main character trying to receive psychic thoughts. It really confused me.
Or maybe it's the opposite.
He's just laying in bed complaining.
This is my time. I'm putting on my psychic blocking helmet.
So it's like a Magneto helmet.
Dirty shit I want to... Yeah. He's like, I don't want her seeing what I'm thinking about when I'm in bed.
Don't be reading my mind between 4 and 5. That's Willie's time.
Trying to relax, quote unquote.
You think he's cranking it right there with Fatsy and Barry not right next to him?
Yeah.
So it pans over to Barry. Barry's playing a guitar, and the sound bit for this is just like they gave the guitar to a 3-year-old, and they said, play it. And the 3-year-old's just going, like, that's it. And then it pans over to John Lee, who's the ginger guy who's rotund, and he's eating. And then Shiro yells at them, and fucking Barry says, yeah, eat, like, put it down faster, fatty. And there are multiple jokes in the show where fucking Barry just calls John Lee a fat ass the whole time.
I mean, this encapsulates everything we need to know about these characters in like one small scene. Fatty is perfect. Fat.
He's a comic
Skinny is a jerk. And Barry fucking Hercules.
Yep, Barry Hercules.
Yeah, and Barry Hercules is, yes. Yeah. And Shiro's like supposed to be the no-nonsense one, too. So he's like the straight man to everybody else's comedic.
He's just a terrible he's a terrible leader.
Yeah.
He's not a good leader at all. But he's not really a leader because in the very next scene, they actually go up and they talk to the doctor, who has the most amazing fucking eyebrows I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
And
he has this chin strap beard.
Yes.
But and then they just like clipped a little bit off of the prop hair on that, and then just blasted 2 caterpillars right on his face, like fucking amazing.
And he has widow's peak in every quadrant of his face.
Yeah.
Each quadrant has a different widow's peak.
You're right.
And the moment that I saw this guy, I was like, this was actually the inspiration for Jet from Cowboy Bebop. Because Jet and Cowboy Bebop's got like pretty much the same profile. His hair's shorter, but he's got the widow's peak and he's got the chin strap with the peaks coming off of it. So really, if they just beef this guy up a little bit and they gave him a metal arm, he would be Jet from Cowboy Bebop.
I always thought Jet was more Barrett
from Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
He wasn't quite as bleak.
This guy gave off serious Star Trek vibes, but they were like, he had the leather vest and the black turtleneck.
No, you're absolutely... you know what? I did not get that, but you're absolutely right. He was like the guest star scientist that would show up on The Next Generation and fuck everything up for the entire crew, and then have to be like captured by Data and stuck in a bridge into a cell somewhere and then shoved off to a different planet. Yeah.
And again, we see a terrible example of leadership. Like the military force is really having a terrible crisis of leadership in its upper ranks.
Easily.
Because the doctor tells them that basically they should keep drifting aimlessly because that's better than looking aimlessly.
Yeah, I mean, they ask multiple times, can they launch their like little fighter vehicles and they'll cover more planets? And he's like, no, we just need to keep drifting through fucking space.
Yeah.
So anyways, our heroes go up, they talk to him, and they're like, hey, we want to help look more. And he's like, no, we got to keep drifting aimlessly. And then the next thing that happens is the X-Bomber is rocked by some sort of force, and the doctor, his name is Ben Robinson, by the way. Dr. Ben Robinson. It's a very...
Ben Robinson.
Yeah,
Nice.
2 N's.
Yeah.
Not one. B-E-N-N.
It's like,
and then,
Lost in Space.
Yeah, and then John Lee is like, oh, that's impossible. We have autopilot on. And then so we're introduced to another thing that we had no fucking clue that was coming up, is there is an alien... I don't even know what you want to call this
He's
thing.
he's a moth-like jerk-off monster.
He's if a moth fucked an abominable snowman and had babies.
Yeah.
And every time he moves, he goes, every fucking time.
It's just when he's
and
alive.
The camera shakes. And the camera shakes at the same time, too.
So is
this was my boing moment. This was when I was on. I was like, yeah, baby.
Yes,
now we're cooking with gas.
I knew you'd love this. Because the next scene is like he's going berserk, and they're like, fucking drink him. And Barry Hercules, like, no preamble, just blasts
shoots
him in the face.
Yeah, Barry Hercules has a tranquilizer laser gun on him at all times. Like, they just look at him and they're like, hey, Barry, where's your trank gun? And he's like, right here, baby. And just fucking shoots it.
Don't leave home without it. I'm a date rapist.
Oh, you mean my roofalizer? Yes, yeah. It's right here.
Yeah. Just zaps the fuck out of it.
Well, and this was, I was super confused by this too, because it was like, the ship is going nuts. Okay, well, it's impossible for the controls to be messed up because of the fact that it's on autopilot. Oh, it must be Kieran. It must be that weird deranged monster thing that we have in a different part of the ship. How did he cause the ship to go haywire like that?
Right, yeah.
Was it supposed to be like he's just awake, and when he's awake, it's pure chaos around him, and everything just sort of shakes and vibrates?
As long as he's making that goddamn noise.
We find out later on he's got some sort of relationship with Princess Lamia.
Yeah.
Like, he's her moth abominable snowman or whatever he is.
Yeah.
I know what he is.
But
He's a builder.
the first time watching this, I'm like, what the fuck is this thing? And why is he rolling around the cockpit going, ha, 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 and just fucking everything up? It's just how that's what he does.
And the way they fucking deal with him is they just... I assume they've just been tranking him every 6 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Barry, go shoot that fucking thing again. Okay. Beep.
Barry's like watch goes off. He wakes up at 4 a.m. Ugh,
No.
gotta go trank the jerk off monster.
So is Noah going to mention his six packs?
I assumed that those were, you know, those inflatable balloons that they make balloon animals out of. Yeah. Did he just have those attached to the front of him?
That's where I was like, he's a moth guy.
He has like an exoskeleton made out of those balloon things. Just sort of. That's his armor. That's his protection.
That'd be cool. I want a mech made.
I thought it was just like a male version of the alien with 6 boobs.
Ooh, could be. That's a hell of a bench day. Like,
Oh yeah, we have another important character introduced here, though, right? We have the robot.
yes,
Yeah, he looks like a vacuum.
His name is PPA. He is the perfectly programmed android, and he's a basketball with legs who's a huge bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
And he flies.
He is always he's always worried about everything.
It looks like he's got a extendo claw for a crank.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the very next scene shows us what I'm guessing is the Emperor of the Imperial Alliance or whatever, the alien bad guys.
It's very unclear. It's just like a random bad guy jibber jabber, basically.
Yeah, but it's a giant.
Yeah.
I think it's actually like a human in a costume that's sitting in a throne with a bunch of puppets around him.
It very well could be. And so he issues an order for, I believe that was Commander Makara, who's like the main bad guy.
Captain Makara.
No, she's Commander, right? Yeah, no, she's Commander.
Oh, she's
and then
Commander,
the other dude next to her is Captain, I think Orion was his name. Anyways, so actually point for kind of inclusivity and everything. Like the fact that they made the head of the bad guy army a female was kind of interesting.
Plus, they have the very important the inclusion of the very important minority that every bad guy race has conquered, which is the horrible mush-faced sidekick, who's clearly been the victim of like being hit by a steamroller.
And insect people.
Yeah. Either robots or insect people, one or the other.
Insect robots. So anyways, he dispatches them on some fucking mission. I don't even remember what it was. And then we go back to the old X-Bomber, and fucking John Lee talks like, Captain, we received no feedback. And it's just the worst voice acting ever. It's so awesome.
We're receiving no feedback from the laser scan.
Yeah.
So anyways, they're floating around. They have no idea where Princess Lamia is. And they're like...
And again, they request, can we go out and do some shit? Can we take the robot out for a spin at the very least? And the doctor's like, no, you got to stay here and protect me.
We don't know where it is.
Yeah. And the best part is this whole scene takes place in something that's clearly someone's 7th grade shoebox diorama.
Yes.
This is hilarious because I was just about to go into how awesome this looks because
it's so good.
It looks like they took essentially shots of the set from the Nostromo from Alien, and they actually built it with a little bit lighter colors because I feel like they were getting a little bit more of that industrial design they didn't necessarily see quite as much in Star Trek, and not quite as much in Star Wars either. Because I think Alien came out in like 79, right? So this was like...
something like that.
Right around that time frame. And I thought that it was actually a pretty cool set design, considering that for most of the sci-fi that we wind up getting later on, it's not quite as analog, I guess you should say, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, it is a nice split. I would say it's a nice split between that aesthetic and the Star Wars like trash ship aesthetic, where things are very cobbled together. But I think that's a good connection, Adam. I didn't even think of it.
Anyways, moving along, because I want to get into the next scene, which is a very important scene. Nobody knows where Princess Lamia is. And then Princess Lamia just wakes up and goddamn brain texts Captain Holly, who we don't even know who the fuck this guy is, and she's like, yeah, I'm in this system on this fucking planet, idiots. And then the mystery's solved, and there's a random pirate ship on the planet.
And
the end.
We do scan over the planet's surface, and it looks fucking awesome. It's like all soft gradients of pink and green, and like these awesome sort of organic but cubozoid glacier pieces. It looks fucking sweet.
It definitely does, and I do also like the pirate ship because it's literally like a frigate, like you would think of from the Age of Sail.
Yeah,
just made out of sheet
like
metal,
the USS
basically. Constitution. Yeah.
Now, is
with like
are we to assume
sails.
that's where Captain Holly is?
No, that's fucking
That's what I
Shackleton
thought.
up there. Like, that's his ship. He's dead on this planet.
But this part had me just... I was laughing my ass off because Captain Holly, again, who we have no idea who this guy is, completely not introduced at all. We just have a Japanese dude wearing a helmet with no visor on it with two giant horns going out the side, and he's like, Lamia, where are you? Please keep communicating with me. And then she tells him precisely where she fucking is. It's not like I don't know, I'm in a cold, dark place. She's like, no, I'm on the glacial planet in this sector of this place. It's off to your starboard side. Please come get me. And he's
Here's
like,
my exact coordinates.
Yeah. And the whole time he's like, I'm Googling. I can't.
fucking Waze isn't telling me right where that is.
Right.
Yeah, the thing that really struck me at this point in time, and this is when I had to go back and kind of question everything else. In the beginning of the episode, we hear an internal monologue from the doctor on our main ship, where he's basically saying, Lamia, can you hear my thoughts? If you can, hang in there. So from what I gathered, and also when the crew comes in to talk to the Doctor about whatever shit they need to bitch about, he always preempts them as like, I know exactly what you're going to say. You're going to say you want to take the ships out to go explore the planets, and I'm saying no. So I was wondering if the Doctor was also telepathic. And my thought, my brain canon here, was that they were essentially relaying telepathic information between everybody. So Lamia was reaching out to Holly, and then Holly was brain-waving to the Doctor, and that's when the Doctor knew to turn on the monitor to then talk to Holly for the rest of the gang's benefit.
They all were like trying to empath with her, though.
Yeah,
like everybody was thinking like, if you hear me, please tell us where we are.
They were all trying to empath her. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the real issue is that she's a mind slut. And she's fucking minding up all these older men, just working her way through the ship.
You know, don't mind slut shame her.
You're right. It's her kink and her
It's
prerogative.
Whatever she wants to do. Yes, exactly. Her mind.
It's her filthy mindscape.
Her mind, her decisions. Whatever she wants, she gets.
I know you can read my thoughts, boy. Meow, 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 meow.
So she tells him precisely where she's at. And Captain Holly tells, the crew of X-Bomber. And this is the point, actually, we're kind of going back to it at the beginning when I was introducing. They explain that she's the F-01, and we don't really know what the hell it is. She's just it. And she's the person that prevents the evil fuckers from defeating the EDF, the Earth Defense Force, and whatever.
Yeah, she's a prototype engine of some kind.
She is the waveform engine.
So this scene continues to go on for quite some time, where Lamia and Hallie are just discussing MapQuest directions for like 2 minutes.
Yep.
She's like, I'm in the Glacio planet in the Illyrian sector. And he's like, where? And she's like, the Glacier planet in the Illyrian sector. There's literally only one of them. And he's like, I don't have the coordinates. And she's essentially being like, I'm at the corner of First and Pike, asshole. Come pick me up.
He's like, share your location.
Well, she's also like,
drop a pin.
Send that shit to me.
Well, she's also like, I'm so sleepy and I think I'm going to die here because whatever they're doing to me, I'm so cold and sleepy.
Yeah, Captain Holly is going to be denser than fucking lead.
He crashes his frigate into a planet.
Is that his boat?
I assume.
It seems to be.
It is.
So he's talking to our heroes on the X-Bomber, and they're like, where's the Illyrian system? And he doesn't give them, like, a coordinate. He's like, it's off your starboard side. Like, they're just floating around. They're like, oh, yeah, there it is right there. I can just look out my space windows.
Yeah, you might as well say take a left at the third star and straight on until morning. Like, it's just purely verbal instructions for a coordinate in three-dimensional space.
Yeah. All right, so they get their scientific wild-ass guess called a swag, pointed in the right direction, and then we go back to our baddies. And the most important thing that everybody needs to know from this scene is they gave Captain America cleavage.
Oh,
but
man.
It's not like cleavage. It's just like
well, it's like it's
two
armor.
half spears bolted to her chest.
Yeah.
No, that's
it's
like
armor.
Her boobs are above the armor, but it's really bad.
It's like she glued two pairs to her chest.
Yeah.
But I also got very heavy Borg.
Yes, you did.
Feeling out of all this, so it really seemed like her and her sidekick were both Borgs, basically, from Star Trek. And I feel like this probably influenced the Next Generation when it came to them designing the Borg.
This felt very 40K to me. This is when I started being like, oh, they're the Dark Eldar. Because it just looks like they're a bunch of pervy sex elves from beyond the stars. Who, like, fuck on top of spikes and shit.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So, anyways, they approach the system, and the Doctor sends Shiro and Barry into, I guess, gun emplacements as the X-Bomber approaches it. But going back to what you had said earlier, Matt, where it's actually was like the visuals are really cool. This system is all about like rainbow colors.
Yeah.
Like everything is all just like constantly shifting rainbow colors. But it's so like the effect is that you could tell they just did one of those spotlights with four different colored gels on it, and they're just like rotating
and
it
just kept
slowly.
rotating through it. Yeah. But what's awesome though is also Kieran just walks onto the bridge unimpeded. Or
right.
Kirvin, whatever he is, the big monster thing that they tranked earlier.
He
was just like, I'm going to head onto the bridge now, and nobody's phased. Nobody's worried about it. He just walks on the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
because
I
one
slept
of
it
the best
off.
lines of the show is coming up. They are in the system, and then one goes, "Look at that white planet over there." And then the basketball with a gripper arm for a dick goes, "It might be ice."
Nice.
That also made me laugh as well. But then, I thought about it, and ice does mean frozen water, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
It usually is
you
covered
could
in
have a
dust and dirt
glacier
in
of other
space.
materials. Like, isn't rocks just frozen rocks?
In theory, yeah.
Yeah.
It's frozen
And
basalt.
it's magma. It's
It's
solid
frozen
magma.
silica. Yeah.
Yeah.
So our three pilot type. Well, first off, Barry and Shiro then get kicked out of the guns, and then they go into their individual ships. And this is the first kind of
The Voltron move into the ship, too. They said
hint.
Yeah.
It's a ship because Shiro's like, "I'm in the brain," and then Barry's in the torso, and then John Lee, who's an idiot, is in the feet.
Now, does he say feet or
and
does
then-
he say bottom?
I don't remember. what he
He's like
says.
leg. It's called like leg sheath or something, leg channels or something.
Leg
I just
channels,
like the
okay.
fact that, as with every ship in the far future, it's important that you devote a large amount of space to long, empty corridors that are
Tunnels,
single
yeah.
use. They don't
Yeah,
have
they're
any
in
other
their
function.
seats that just zip on.
Yeah.
And they get into their ships, and thus kicks off a pretty long and impressive fight sequence.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So they float down on their individual thingies, and they got lasers. And this is a scene in which they just kind of like threw words out that kind of made sense, like sounded like space and combat. Like just pick words that are like space combat, whatever.
Yeah.
Like evade, or like hyper or shit like that. They just said it.
So, guys, I got a tingle. I got a little tingle when we got down to the planet, and they started doing a slow pan across the embankments of missiles set in the glacier. I was like,
Yes.
Oh, did it move? Did it move?
During this fight,
this
there
what's
are some
gonna get me on?
awesome, terrible special effects. They have like a couple of fucking bottle rockets zip across the screen at any given time. They have a
But-
missile on the end of a wire that like just kind of floats up. But then there's lasers,
Yeah.
Oh,
and then the next thing you know, we have like a 45-second long Form Voltron scene.
Yeah.
And then it goes into like a man, like a real human in a suit,
suit,
walking around a
yes.
sound
And
stage,
Exactly.
Here-
like punching missiles out of the sky and
Yeah.
like beating
Well,
stuff.
This
while
is where it
people are
got me.
shooting bottle
This is where
rockets
it got
out.
me.
This is where it got nice.
I hate guys in rubber suits. I hate guys in rubber suits destroying a city so much, but it was World War fucking 12 down there.
Yeah.
And he
That's
was
the
just
one you wrote for you.
fucking wailing on that shit and with the most inane, stupid one-liners. Like, they're
yeah.
gonna give him the 1-2, and he just smashes things with two hands.
Yeah. Well, he smashes one and then another one. And it's usually Barry
Yeah.
that's doing all the one-liners, too, because he's like,
Oh yeah,
"Lee,
Barry is
step
the
on
weapons
it."
operator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does, just thinking about, like, the production of this, too, is, like, you got a guy in a suit, and you're essentially shooting fireworks at him constantly while he's just sort of walking around. And, like, I was thinking about that stunt actor, like, with the shit that he had to go through. But the other thing was also, this isn't like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, where you got, like, a giant robot that's whipping out all these kung fu moves. The guy's, like, doing the robot while he's in the robot suit.
Right.
He's, like, trying to keep it stiff and mechanical. So,
Yeah, those elbows
like-
up.
I was digging it, too.
Yeah. He's drenched in sweat inside this
Yeah.
thing. Just like constantly
they light
fearful.
him on fire
Yes.
And to cap-
multiple
Yes,
times.
that's the point where it got me. Is where you could tell that robot was on fire.
Yeah.
He's just legit on fucking fire.
He's just going berserk, and the whole thing culminates in this scene where the robot turns to the screen like he's destroyed hundreds of missile embankments and enemy fighters, and like he turns to the screen and lets out like an unearthly, inhuman howl.
Yeah.
Like
it's
he's a
crazy
demon trapped
roar.
inside.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then they cut to inside, and there's just these three little fucking dweebs in there going, yeah.
So fucking good. Oh my God. And then they just like walk up to. They're like, "Oh, look, there's a door in the side of the hill," and they just like roll up to it. And then they get out in their spacesuits, which the spacesuits are fine, but they have ponchos on. I'm not really sure why they're wearing.
They have
these black
capes.
rubber fucking ponchos.
This is
yeah,
the
they have
first
capes.
time I have ever seen heroes wearing black capes as part of their regular uniform.
Honestly, I
that
thought
was
these
good.
looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought it looked pretty hot. It felt very original Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not shitting on it. It's awesome. Like this whole thing is awesome
Because it's their little off one shoulder half cape look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fashy though.
So, anyways, John Lee, the fat one, falls down the stairs for like some
First,
bit of comedic relief.
First, they have to get into the facility, so they have to shoot the door to get in, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was
Oh yeah, they all have
beforehand.
to shoot at once.
So as soon as they shot it once and nothing happened, and then all three of them, Shiro says like all three of us at the same time need to shoot it.
Yeah, but right
And they all
before he
shoot at the
says,
same time.
right before he says that, the comic relief character, you can see his mouth moving, but they didn't bother to dub anything over for that part.
They're like, fuck this guy.
But for
John
whatever
Lee.
reason, in my mind, I saw it very clearly that they shot the door, they blew it off of its hinges, and then all of a sudden Lamia gets sucked out into the void of space because she was right on the other side, and nobody bothered to fucking check. But of course, that's not what happened.
Did anybody else notice that how Barry's fucking helmet is specifically designed to accommodate his incredibly protrusive chin?
Yes, his giant chin. Yes.
All of their outfits are like bespoke.
Yes.
It's fucking amazing. So after John Lee slides down the stairs, they show up into this one chamber, and Princess Lamia is in this chamber that they found out that they're trying to essentially cryogenically kill her or freeze her with sub-zero gas.
Yeah,
whatever that
Sub-zero
is.
gas.
They asked John Lee to open up the chamber. He can't because he's the comedic relief. So then they just shoot the fucking shackles on her arms and wrists.
Yeah, this was
That's
great.
what they do.
This was great because they're like, oh, we got to shoot them off. And like, instead of being like, oh, well, we could go up close and make sure we don't miss. He like takes a fucking step back and he's just like waving his
half the
little,
room.
he's waving his little puppet arm gun out there. He's just like, hold still, princess.
Oh man! So they get her, and they're trucking out of there, and everything starts to rumble and shake, and they're like, "Oh, it's an earthquake."
Nuclear
And then
reaction.
it turns out it's a nuclear reaction from when they were in like Voltron mode, and they were shooting nuclear tipped torpedoes at everything. Now the planet's gonna explode. The end.
Yeah.
So cue the slowest walk out of this dungeon ever in the history of walks. Like, no, we ain't running. We are fucking strutting.
I have to assume it's because they're going back up with the fat guy slid down, and they're just taking teeny tiny little steps up this like sheet of ice.
They're like
Could
side
be.
shuffling to get up there. Yeah.
Right.
Well, the other thing that I questioned was the fact that they grabbed Lamia and they're just sort of like carrying her like a damsel in distress. No suit.
Yeah.
No
Right.
respirator.
Barry's doing it.
Just holding her. Like they're gonna walk out
Right.
into this hostile environment, but she'll be fine. No big deal.
Well, there's been no indication that there is oxygen on this planet at all.
But and they have also
Well, I
indicated
mean-
that it's covered in radiation now because they've been shooting nukes
Or-
all over the place. So
There's no indication that they require those fucking helmets and capes.
That's
They're
true.
just
That's
wearing them.
it's their fashion sense. Yeah.
They're all like, it's regulations, guys.
Yeah.
So while they're doing this, budget 40K at bad guys show up. Not really sure. They're just like kind of hanging out, and they're like, let's go fight the X-Bomber, but they don't. They kind of go down to the planet's surface, which allows our heroes to get in live-action Voltron, and then they take off, and they're expecting missiles to hit live-action Voltron. Doesn't work.
Now it was very strange because the bad guys were like, oh, the X-Bomber's here, and they're just sitting here over the surface of the planet. So why don't we just
Right, yeah, that's
wait
my
and
point.
watch to see what's going on? And then as soon as
No.
the Dia X blasts off of the planet, they say an alien ship's leaving the planet, and they're like, oh, we better go down to that planet and see what the fuck's going on the planet. Instead of like, oh, let's chase the guys that we're here to kill.
Or you're in a battle cruiser, just go blow up
Yeah.
the X-Bomber.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nope.
Just start laying waste
Nope.
to
They
your
went
enemies.
went down to the surface of the planet. Planet explodes because that's what happens when you hit it. You know, a basketball-sized planet with a guy-sized suit with torpedo rockets or whatever the fuck.
And then,
anyways, they get Princess Lamia.
They do a crashing or like a crash scene kind of that I have done better with my G.I. Joes, where they're basically like throwing the little robot guys into the scene.
Oh, no, yeah. No, it's great because it's like they literally had like the diorama with all the little guys in it, and they just sort of shook it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that was the action. They just shook it. And you see the guys just sort of like flailing around in there.
Yeah. And the animator's like, 4 years of grad school for this.
This is 1980. It wasn't 4 years of grad school. It was like...
You're right.
I can't believe they got me right out of high school for this.
Yeah, he's like,
2
years of doing lines of cocaine in an abandoned warehouse for this.
Just for this. I could have been a doctor.
Yeah. I was a stockbroker.
We get back to our heroes. They're on the X-Bomber. Lamia's on the operating table, I guess. And then they've got like some jars of saline solution. But the doctor has a syringe, a big fucking syringe, that he's just kind of waving around, not really sure what's going on with that. Then everybody's like, John Lee was like, I wasn't scared. And Barry Underwood's like, you pissed your pants. And he's like, yeah. And then the episode ends.
It ends on idiots laughing at nothing.
Yeah. Just like always, yes.
Yeah. And then it goes into a intro for the next episode where evidently the baddies have put a assassin on the X-Bomber.
Yeah.
And they've also released a naval mine the size of a small moon into space. So
that's no moon.
This show was goddamn awesome.
There's also like this before we end it, we had this closing dialogue where there's like, yes, we've wrapped it all up. And only 2 Earth months before the year 3000.
Yeah, like everything's
like
gonna
supposed
fucking
to hold
go
some
to
sort of
shit
significance
in 3000.
Right.
Exactly.
It was just such a wonderfully off-kilter capper, right? Like, okay, what am I supposed to do with that information? I now know the date. Thank you.
So that's jokes aside, I think that's one of the things that had we watched this show from the beginning, there would have been certain parts of this that made a lot more sense. Like we would have known who Lamia's moth abominable snowman puppy was.
I will bet you $100 fucking that is a
that
lie.
we have no idea.
That is not true. That we could watch this whole thing from the beginning to the end.
It just shows the fuck up.
We will remain blissfully ignorant.
Yep. So I gotta say,
all right,
with this
let's get into the analysis
week,
of this bastard.
But for the preview for next week, when it has we see Karen fighting the like giant Yeti moth puppy thing, fighting the
praying mantis,
the giant mecha praying mantis.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
awesome.
when I got turgid again after that. I was like, ooh,
yeah,
you got me again, baby. Yeah,
you're like round 2.
Awesome.
The final song and closing credits that helped me finish. That was right there.
Oh yeah,
where I needed it.
And now we know it's 8 minutes long.
Yeah, I've got an 8-minute cut of that.
I can't.
You know what?
I can't wait to watch an 8-minute cut of that.
It's so beautiful.
This whole fucking show was, I mean, and in the synopsis there, we couldn't really get into it. Like the voice acting was terrible. Like it was god awful. And I mentioned it earlier, where they would just like toss science fiction related words out.
Yeah.
They would just be like hyper, like laser, and you're just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like that's what they would say.
Yeah.
But it all worked.
The special effects kind of ran the gambit between shit that you would do in your backyard and fucking beautifully realized, gorgeous, like almost sublime renditions of parodies of special effects. It's crazy.
There's a scene in the like 7 minutes of fighting where they're in the mecha, like I said, where it's walking around and the camera's looking up at it, and you have one of the missile models taking off that's very clearly on a wire because it's it's kind of jiggling around as it moves, and then 2 bottle rockets from off camera just come zorching across this fucking guy in the suit. And it's like Adam said, they just told the stunt actor, hey man, listen, you're just going to roll around in the suit, you're going to punch a bunch of paper mache models, but we're going to shoot fireworks at you the entire time you do it. And that guy was like,
no,
I'm good to go.
No, he's like, no. They were like, hey, it's really safe. You just go up there, you wave your arms, and he's like, why is that intern running around with a lighter? What is he doing? Like, don't worry about the interns. They're always doing stuff.
They're just shooting fucking bottle rockets at this guy the entire time.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, that's actually what that Inhuman roar was at the end. That was like the stunt actor finally being like, "What the fuck is going on? Why are you doing this
in
shit?"
This cardboard suit.
I'm on fire.
The director's like, "Yes, method. Keep going deeper."
Dude, shoot more at him. How many more do we got? All of them.
Yeah. Throw some M90s at him. Whatever.
I loved it. I loved every minute of this.
It is
from Barry Hercules on. I was completely the fuck sold, and I was so happy I drew this episode.
This is like the show that would get made if you just kept giving firecrackers and money to 14-year-olds.
Yeah.
This would just spontaneously occur.
We're done with the episode. We can't get any better than that. Okay. You're 100% right. If I was a 8th or 9th grader with action figures and someone gave me 50 G's to make a TV show, this is what you would get.
50 G's, and they're like, also, I can get you fireworks because I'm old enough to buy them. And you're like, I love you, new daddy.
Yeah. I'm sure at some point me and my buddies would have been like, all right, we're going to light you in the fireproof suit on fire.
Right.
Like, we're going to do that.
Wait. You think that was a fireproof suit?
Yeah, I don't think it was a fireproof suit.
Yeah. It's a fireproof suit because you wrote fireproof on the back of a cardboard suit.
So, fun fact, back in high school, it was for a history class, and I don't remember. I'll have to ask my buddy if he still has this. We made a video about federal agents, like, coming for somebody's farm in, like, the Prohibition era, and we actually took a dummy. We took jeans and a hoodie and everything. We stuffed it with towels and newspaper, and we had it hit by a car in this movie that we made. Like, the person was standing in the street, and then boom, it got hit by a car. I don't remember what the fuck the whole purpose of that was. And then we had a shootout in it and all this other nonsense. Yeah, it pretty much was this.
Yeah.
If we had been able, if I had been able to go to my buddy Jared and be like, "Hey, you got a fireproof suit? Totally lighting you on fire."
Yeah.
Whatever Derek's high school fucking video about Prohibition, which involved a barn and guns and a car hitting somebody, we would have done that too.
If I had money and patience, this would have been my life.
And I mean, to be fair, a bunch of creative awesome too.
Oh no, they did great.
Everything in here looks really good.
Oh no, yeah.
For whatever reason, and I've yet to figure this one out, but like the Japanese always go with like the stereotypical like froed up black dude. But it's not in a negative portrayal. It's just that's how it is. Like,
well, again, they want to fuck him. It's just a different kind of racism, guys.
But to be perfectly honest,
Probably.
Barry Hercules in this gave me super strong Lupin the Third vibes. Like, he almost looks like they took Lupin the Third and then just like made him a few shades darker, gave him a different like. Actually, no, it's almost the exact same hair even.
Yeah, so. It's maybe a little bigger, but that's about it.
Who is Lupin the Third?
Oh my dear gentle Derek.
Don't worry
Look
about
it up.
Yeah, it's not that important. It's just an old Japanese anime.
Yeah, Derek, it's not that important. It's not that important, Derek. Derek, it's okay.
Holy shit, you're right. Like that is very similar.
It's the chin. It's that long chin, and I was wondering if there was actually a significance of the chin when it comes to like trying to say something about the character. You know, like how in
it's
in ancient Greek, you know,
chin,
you have the long nose.
It's like the size of his feet, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the chin, the fro, the long
sideburns,
like the long mutton chop, bushy sideburns or whatever. Yeah, that's that dude. I could see.
It all
100% see that.
It all comes together in one word: virile.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like, the production value of this, I thought, was very high. And the thing that got me was in the introduction. Derek, you had mentioned everybody wearing the uniforms and then never showing back up. And they seem to have almost like a presidential type figure in here.
I thought he was like an admiral.
He might have been an admiral or something like that. And
but he
typically
he
people
did have,
would
like,
say like a silver fox, but I think that he was more like a silver lion.
Yeah, he had an
mane.
Abraham Lincoln beard for sure.
Yes. And they,
yeah,
like,
but it was long
big-
and amazing.
big, long gray hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the characters with beards and long hair, like they put the time and effort into like these things were awesome. Like these guys used their conditioner.
Oh God,
And
yeah.
that shit had some sheen to it.
All of our feminine hero boys had the longest, most luxurious hair under their head reshaping hats.
Yes, Shiro and Hale were like rocking hair down to their butt.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking so good.
So
Even John Lee had like the whole like he had
he
the
had, like, a
ultra
bob.
bowl cut.
He had
of like
he had a salad bowl cut
Yeah.
because it was such
yeah,
a big
it wasn't
bowl.
it wasn't like above his eyebrows. Like that shit went down to the top of his eyeballs and then under his ears. Everybody in the future, if we were going by this show, really takes care of their hair.
Oh yeah.
Barry had like the perfect fro sideburns. Perfect. You know, the doctor, that guy's 60 years old. It's all one color. Like he's using Hair Club for Men, whatever the dye and shit is. So he ain't no silver fox.
And he's like he's taking such good care of his hair. He's got like he keeps growing more widow's peaks.
Yeah. Like a widow peak just shows up.
Yeah, it's like a fractal. Like his widow peaks have widow's peaks down to the microscopic level.
Well, you got to wonder the reason why they have such impeccable hair is probably due to production concerns, right? I imagine it's probably concealing a better part of like where their heads are connected to their neck and how they're like their whole thing is set up, because you really only see the neck of Barry and Shiro for the most part. Everybody else is like kind of covered.
I prefer to think that there's some 70s otaku with a tiny little comb who just spent hours and hours on set
easy.
combing these marionettes' hair. I comb your hair. Oh, I'm combing your hair, Barry.
It was like the whole reason why they actually made this show was because some producers like cousin or stepson or something like needed a job.
Right.
And he was like, fuck, we'll just make a job with marionettes with really long hair and it'll keep my wife from pestering me about getting him a job and he could like work and do whatever. Just don't let any of the interns around him. Make sure he's under constant supervision if there's a woman in the room.
Keep him away from the fireworks.
Yeah, keep him away from the fireworks in that rubber suit, because he will crawl into that rubber suit.
Yeah. He lives in there.
I got it on in the background here, and I'm watching it again. I don't think their eyes move.
No,
I think the only thing that moves on them is their mouths.
The only person
Yes,
with articulated eyes that actually close is Lamia. She's the only puppet that has eyes that close. It's only when she tilts, too. I don't know. I'm watching it again. I'm actually just watching it while we're talking, and I just got to the scene.
Yeah,
where
I've
they
got
shoot
it going
big
on in the
bugbear.
background.
I downloaded it to
Digging
my
it.
phone, and I play it always.
Like as you're falling asleep at night, you have it playing.
It is.
It lulls you into a sense of security. Yeah.
So would you guys let your children watch this?
Oh, fuck yes.
It's not a
Like,
question.
that's a resounding fuck yes.
It's not a question of will I let. It's when will I make.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm actually
right.
I'm actually rethinking my whole life plan. I think I might have kids just so I can make them watch this show.
You were
I can't wait.
like, oh, Alex.
I can't wait till my daughter is of age and
Of
her
age.
mother's out of town on business. And I'm like, hey, kid, you know what we're doing all weekend? She's like, what, Dad? I'm be like, Starfleet X Bomber. Go get some popcorn.
And then she
Get your
vomits
little
immediately.
bumbo seat over here.
You're like,
Yep.
You're like,
watching the whole thing.
you're like, you know what I'm doing this weekend? No, Dad, I'm scarring you for life. Get the popcorn.
I'm introducing you to Epic. We're gonna watch Barry fucking shoot the moth abomination.
Barry Hercules.
I also like the fact that Barry Hercules, like,
Fuck you.
he turns around and bitch smacks the robot randomly at some point in time.
Yeah.
And the robot's like only just saying, "I'm not going to tolerate insubordination," while it's like lying on the ground, disheveled and in pieces.
Yeah. It's like flopping around. It's like a fish.
I told you, the moment that this bitch fucking sold me was when they're like, I'm Starfleet pilot Shiro. I'm Starfleet pilot John Lee. I'm Barry Hercules. And you're like, this is going to be good.
Fucking Hercules. I'm outside the chain of command structure.
Yeah.
I do my own thing.
I like to think that Barry Hercules is Obama's like great grandson. And his daughter's like married into the Hercules line, and like everyone in that line inherits the Barry name.
I mean, that's 1,000 years in the future, so I think it's a couple greats. But yeah, sure, why not?
Sure, let's fight about it.
Yeah. Oh, I just actually watched the scene where he bitch smacks the robot basketball.
Yeah.
Biff.
There's also here's some subtext. Did you guys get a little like romantic tension between Shiro, Lamia, and Barry?
No, see, I got it between Shiro and Lamia. I didn't see Barry in that mix. I thought Barry and John Lee were
Barry.
I thought Holly
Barry
was more in that mix than Barry was.
I don't know. Barry carries her out. He catches her when she falls, and that's also
that's because Shiro's a bitch.
That's also when Shiro is a fucking bitch. I'm gonna smack that little shit.
Like, I would much rather roll around with Barry and John Lee than Shiro. I'd just be like, get out of here, you fucking nerd.
Quit having fun, you little shits. Get to work.
Yeah, you fucking narc.
Fuck you. I hate you, Fatsy and Blacksy.
Like, that's the kind of dude that would be like, did you do your paperwork?
Yeah. Did you...
Teacher, you didn't give us homework. It's just like, sure, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You got John Lee over here. He's so hungover. He's passed out at his fucking controls because him and Barry were up ripping beers playing cards last night.
Yeah. And he ate a whole goat.
Barry's just making fucking pizzas. I don't even know. Looks like he knows how to make pizzas.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just
Philly pizzas.
pounding fucking beers.
Barry's a great cook.
He makes Philly pizzas.
Oh yeah, he makes it Philly style, brotherly love.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Shiro's,
going to hell.
Shiro's in bed at fucking 9, being like, "Oh my god, guys, I have my helmet."
You know, are you getting the regulation 8 hours of sleep?
Fuck you, Shiro. You're a bitch.
Yeah. He's a terrible boss. In fact, the leadership overall is very, very poor in this show.
Yeah.
The chain of command should really be switched up.
Yeah.
Like, one, you shouldn't have a doctor in charge. You should have, like, the commander.
Yeah, no one likes doctors.
And I think that commander should be Barry.
Yeah.
And then the chief pilot is John Lee, because that dude loves snacks and flying.
Yeah.
And then Shiro's just the coffee bitch.
Yeah. And Shiro's like, I want
janitor. Yeah.
Shiro's like, I want to go out and I need to find my fucking sex partner. And Barry's like, I command you to take a hit out of this. Breathe deep, Shiro. We've made the whole front console, the whole front of the ship into a fucking water bomb.
Just one big ass gravity bomb.
This whole thing. It's gonna force,
go in there, Shiro.
100 grams of fucking marijuana into your brain.
What are you, a fucking narc? You bitch. I love it. I fucking loved it. All right, David. What do we got? What is the next? Would we let our kids watch it? It's not a question of would, it's when.
All right.
Next question.
I'm going to go ahead and mark this as keep on the list.
Dude, this is the number one keep on the list of all the shows that we've ever watched in the history of shows.
Well, I guess, would you say it's amazing, amazingly terrible, or terrible? Because I actually
this is
think
amazingly terrible.
See, I'd say amazing. I still think it's just amazing because there was a lot of love that went into this.
But in execution, a lot of it's really shitty.
No, that's true. That is true.
And that's why it's amazingly terrible.
I have to go with amazingly terrible because it's like it is like working a 40-hour week for evil. You know, it's like you're really, you're
I've accomplished something.
yeah,
but
you're
it's for
really
the bad
putting in the
guys.
time. And you're like, I'm contributing my 401k at Evil Corp. You know, it's just, it's so, it's slavish devotion to our horrible overlords, and I love it.
Yeah, but to go back to what Adam said, this was made with a ton of love. Like, I guarantee you, when these guys were making this show, they were pouring everything they had into it.
Brotherly love.
And they had no idea the fucking epic bomb they were making.
You have to think that if this is a Japanese show, most likely this was actually made for adults. This wasn't necessarily like a kid's show in Japan.
By adults, even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder, did anybody, like, Derek, when you were researching this, did they have any type of, like, fan service or anything like that in here?
I didn't
What are
I
you
didn't
doing?
see anything about it.
Okay.
But when we inevitably watch another episode of this, and I hopefully draw the straw to do it again.
We might see some puppets
I'll
fucking.
look.
Yeah, we might
Yeah.
we might see some hot pair on pair action.
Like, are we going to get the I promise I will never die scene from Team America? I hope so. I can only hope so.
We did this bit on a couple of occasions, and I think the last time we did it was on Plastic Man.
Oh, okay.
Who, if we were to be role-playing a space adventure,
Oh, yeah.
who would you be role-playing as? Who would you want to be out of this group?
Is that even a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Dude, fucking Barry.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
Oh, I thought that
Now,
might be a little bit-
who would I be? Fucking bitch ass head reforming Shijiro. Like, I know that I am that guy. I know I'm that piece of shit. In fact, I think I played that character in Dan's game or Mike's game.
Yeah.
I played
No, it's
him
Mike's
in the game where Mike's game where we were in the military,
We're
and I
just looking for
was
cords
like
and
the
things.
terrible
Yeah.
bootlicking lieutenant.
Yep. Nice. David, who would you be?
I think I'd be Captain Holly and just relaying information while I was.
From a safe distance.
Yeah,
David's stuck on a
I'll just stay here with my luxurious hair.
metal pirate ship.
Yeah.
Nice.
Crash landed on some random fucking
You're like
planet.
in there cosplaying with your big horns, like, I'm a deer today.
I'm a yak.
Nice.
Yeah, man, living your best life. I like it. Adam, who would you be?
I think that I would be Kieran.
Yeah, you would.
Just sleeping all the time, and whenever I was awake, I was just violently attacking whatever was near me.
And and you will constantly make that noise. The best part is at the end where they're over her body and they're all like talking, and he's just right there, like no break in no break in the noise for the dialogue. They're like talking to you the whole time. He's going,
Yeah, the voice actor was really committed to that character.
yeah. Yeah, he's a fucking moth-based jerk-off monster. Space. We have to put the word space in there.
Space.
Space moth-based jerk-off monster.
Yep.
Well, should we draw straws to see who gets to marry it?
Yes.
I think this might be a justification for polygamy. Like, I really think that, yeah, I think we could all marry Starfleet Bomber X.
Yeah, we're taking this shit to the Supreme Court. They're gonna watch this and be like, "All right, boys,
Yep.
All right,
we see what you
reinstate
see
it.
what you see."
I mean, I don't know if we can do any better. Like, I think we've peaked.
Kavanaugh's gonna be like,
There's
"Bros,
literally-
here, take it, do it, keg stand, bros. We're getting married."
There's literally no other show I think that's better than this.
No, my hope springs eternal. There is more garbage out there.
Yeah, have you seen Ulysses 71 or whatever it's called?
Yeah, I don't think we've.
Is it on the list?
It's on the list. Yeah, we have some other really
we have-
crazy space adventure cartoons.
Ooh, we have the Critic next week.
Yeah.
That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah,
I
that's
haven't
gonna be
watched that
good.
show
That's
in a
gonna
hot
be
minute.
and
Rainbow
and
Bright.
It is
I
the
feel
right
like I
episode for
probably
us
should
too.
Nice. I feel like I should probably be drunk for Rainbow Bright.
This was an unexpected delight.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I went into
the best,
not feeling anything, and now I have all the feels.
Yeah.
the best thing I can sum all this up is no shit. Last week, the 30 minutes before we all got on, I was going to watch this episode, and I am sure as shit glad I didn't.
Yeah.
Because the entire time last week, I would have just been like, wait till next week, guys.
Yeah.
Wait till next
Whole
week.
time you've been like, your little body vibrating, excited, and we finally get to podcast, and you're like, I touched dicks with Brett Kavanaugh. We docked.
Wait, what?
All I can say is this is the opposite of Spider-Man.
It's true.
This is what has rekindled our love for this podcast.
Dicks out for Star Bummer X.
Star Bummer X?
I don't know the
think
name of this fucking cartoon.
My favorite episode that I've presented up until this has actually been Labyrinth. I really enjoyed doing that one.
Oh, nice.
This
Nice.
is my favorite, hands down. I've watched this cartoon about 6 times now.
Wow.
It's
got,
so bad.
It's got
it's good.
space. It's got robots. It's got puppets. It's got giant Yeti jerk-off monsters.
It's got the possible death of a stuntman.
It's got the possible real-life death of a stuntman.
They couldn't afford real marionettes,
Yeah.
so everybody just kind of walks around like a Muppet.
It's got
Like,
Sub-Zero
their
gas.
eyes don't move. Their mouths sort of kind of move. They make a bunch of fat jokes, which is totally unacceptable nowadays.
We've got
It's got
terrible
a-
leadership on
It's
every
got
level.
a hot, evil captain who wants to kill everybody that also looks like she's part robot, like the Borg Queen.
with some bolt-on tits.
Yeah,
It's
we
fucking
got
epic.
possibly demon-possessed, shape-changing robot. We got
Yeah.
bad ship design everywhere.
You got
Oh my god,
bottle
the X
rockets.
bomber itself. Why the fuck does
Oh,
the
yeah.
front of it come out
Yeah.
and then just like dip down?
Just
It looks like a fucking vulture. Yeah,
It's like a cross between an X-wing and a pterodactyl.
it looks like a cross between the Serenity ship and an X-wing that hasn't been on a diet.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like where the cockpit area is below. Like so they're just building the ship and be like, yeah, we can use these normal materials and just extend it out and put the cockpit there. And they're like, no, let's use 25% more materials to make it have a dip in it. And they're like, yeah.
I mean,
Fuck yeah.
you know, when they were building this ship, they started with, well, we need 3 long, useless corridors. That is non-negotiable.
200-yard long corridors.
Exactly
That guys
alike.
have to sit in little race cars to fly out to their fucking portion of the mech.
Yes.
And we
That's
have to
it.
have a loading bay that can feasibly house the components of a mech suit that's actually bigger than the ship.
Right.
They actually strap the mech bits to the outside.
Yeah, Adam.
Is it on the outside?
I think it's
I didn't see that.
It
I think
is.
it's designed
It's
so
not
that
really
the
clear.
model can rest on the surface.
Well, yeah,
so they can
that's
set it
practical,
down.
but we're
Yeah.
being impractical right now.
I also like the way I don't even know the name of it. The way the mech suit when it's all in pieces, none of those look good.
Yeah.
All the ships look stupid.
Oh,
No.
yeah, they all look horrible. They look like there's no maneuverability whatsoever with them if they
Yeah.
have to go into any type of...
They look like garbage freighters.
Yeah.
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 It's like me when I was like 7 and I found a nut and with a screw in it, and I was like, oh, if I screw it, it looks like a spaceship. It's a spaceship. I don't have a TV. Please,
Yes, that-
I'm desperate and sad.
I was going to go with, unlike Voltron, where it's like, I'm the Green Panther, I'm
Right.
the Yellow Panther. It's like, I'm the rectangular solid. I'm the fucking oval.
Yeah.
And I'm sad.
It's
I don't even know what the fuck my shape
Yeah,
is.
the
I
3
am
ships:
legs.
hat, shirt, and pants.
Like, they didn't even look cool. Like,
No.
the pants, like,
Look
had
like
to extend
pants.
the legs.
Yeah.
But
They look
on the
like
flip
the
side of that
crotch.
coin, when they put the ship together, they actually showed the little locks, like
yeah.
holding everything in place, which I actually thought was very cool. Because
Yeah.
usually it's like
Yeah.
for Voltron, meow, 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 and then they just like they're all together.
There's
Yeah.
like a flash
But this
of
one was
light.
like, hey, yeah, here's the mechanical parts of it.
It's so beautiful.
But they also went from, like, I felt like laser guns were a little bit more effective than fists. But evidently, the show showed us that fists from a giant, like, 300-foot tall mecha is better than lasers.
No, there was an escalating level. First, it's like, smash everything. And then it's like, we're on fire, run at everything. And then they're like, now, laser everything. And they're just mowing everybody down.
And then torpedo everything, which caused a nuclear explosion to break the planet.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so good. Might have to go back and watch this at half speed.
Half speed. So you're going to get things like...
It's going to make it last.
Yeah.
Eat it faster, fatty. Like,
eat it faster,
fatty.
Oh, goodness. All right. What's next, David? Are we trying to determine what we're watching next?
No, let's do some redemptions.
Let us redeem.
So
Adam's not here. Oh, fuck. All right.
All right, here we go. Starfleet X-Bomber is going to be redeemed how many times?
You know what? That's actually a good point. Maybe I will boost Starfleet X-Bomber so we actually take off whatever points we add to it. So it's just as likely that we'd be able to watch it again.
Okay, you're like keeping it in the running.
And can I make a suggestion with that?
What's that?
Can we boost it and then suggest that we watch episode 1?
Sure.
To kind of maybe figure out what the fuck is happening.
On subsequent viewings, we choose which episode.
Subsequent viewings.
Yeah, we get to choose the next episode, so we can definitely choose to go
and
watch
cool.
it from the beginning.
I want to know who the silver fox in the admiral's uniform was.
I would guess it's an admiral.
Actually, this is a good question, though. We were debating about this a little bit earlier, David.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about the fact that we have a pretty big backlog for Amazingly Terrible.
Yeah, we got a lot of episodes in the can.
You were talking about maybe trying to do a mini-series of Starfleet Bomber X. Is that something that you would like to do?
X-Bomber.
Sorry, Starfleet X-Bomber. What do we all... I guess this might have to be like a determination by all of us. What do you feel about that?
I don't think...
I'll actually jump into David's court here.
We don't deserve it.
Is it going... No, is it going to be easy to find these episodes?
Oh.
Well, we found one.
Oh, no. I found all of them. So.
And you've watched all of them, haven't you?
No. Plus, I haven't watched.
Plus the fanfic movie and the live action series.
And he's printed out every
just
screen.
a soundtrack.
Just a soundtrack.
He's printed out every screen, and he's got them completely taped over, covering every wall of his bedroom.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. He's got all the fucking manga with the naked Captain Macro is on it. Yep. Oh,
yeah,
easy.
he's got the illegal porn parody Tijuana Bibles, where they show they show the mecha having sex with Popeye.
Nice.
They're called Doshinden.
So,
I don't know. I forget what they're called.
Matt, you say that we don't deserve this.
It's one of those things where like it's so good, but I know that our true destiny is to never settle down, to never find love.
Whoa! It would only be 24 episodes.
We must surf the eternal ocean of garbage, lonely and alone, like the Silver Surfer in the cosmos,
or the X-Bomber. That is aimlessly floating in
space.
Aimlessly
wandering.
Floating through space.
Until we get verbal instructions.
Princess Lamia, who tells us precisely where she is via Google Maps.
Yeah.
No big deal.
So that's a no from Matt. Could this be
not
something we all vote on?
It's not a no. It's a plea for sanity. It's not actually a no, David. I would love it if we did a miniseries.
Yeah, I've been looking for a way to limit like how far back we're recording these in relation to when they're released.
So
here's my
how many episodes are we talking about total?
It's 24
Yeah,
for the
20.
US version. 25.
So we're really
Then why don't we do the first
20.
5?
20 I mean, like if we did all of them, we're talking about 2 years of fucking.
Yeah.
Or if we do it like once a month.
No, why don't we?
But if
Why don't we do?
Well, it would actually be based on how many episodes we have recorded. So I was thinking, like, if we have 2 or 3 months already, then instead of a normal episode, we'll do one of these, like a Starfleet.
Like a reward for getting ahead.
Yeah.
I like that.
So here,
Carrot
this
and
is
stick
my.
us.
So David, I would say that my redemption is to remove Starfleet Bomber X from the episode list and turn it into a mini-series.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm here for that. I agree.
And who has the next redemption?
That would be Derek.
Haha. In your
I'll
face,
do it.
Matt.
Damn it. I was gonna be like, and I vote not to do
Not
that.
to do that.
What do I want to get rid of?
Can I make a suggestion? Because this is the other thing that I was going to do, Derek. I was going to try to buff the movie list again to make it more likely that we'd watch a movie.
I would actually like to do that. I really enjoyed, and I brought this up two tapings ago, that Tara and I really liked watching Labyrinth. Like, she enjoyed it because she knows that we do the podcast on Fridays, and so she kind of felt like a part of it. And then we watched something that she had not seen, and so that was a lot of fun.
Have you seen the other movies on the list?
Yeah, that's
You will get divorced.
the movie list is already buffed.
Fuck it, buff it. I don't give a shit. Let's do this. Oh, we got Mac and Me on there. Holy fuck. Oh, holy fuck.
That's right.
Of course we do.
Flight of the Navigator.
I like the idea that maybe this is like a limited collector's edition. That these episodes will be collector's edition episodes. The true listeners will have to trade with their friends and collect them all, get the whole set, get the POG version.
Can we call this X-Bomber Gold Team?
Ooh.
Or X-Bomber Blue Team?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's got to be
Rip off X-Men.
gold collector's edition.
I think we need
1995.
to watch the first episode and figure out who those blue people were, and then name ourselves after them.
There we go.
Like, is this the X-Bomber, like, head shed? Like, ooh.
Okay. So I think we're now on to up next on Amazingly Terrible.
We want cartoons 26 hours a day.
Right. And it
So
appears...
what are we watching next?
Well, it appears that the Wizards of the Coast have removed their dice roller.
Oh, no!
They recently purchased D&D Beyond, and it might be part of that deal.
All right, David, what do I need?
So-
2 D20s? I will happily roll.
2D20s.
Well,
Yeah,
I
right.
found a replacement roller, so...
God damn it,
Oh,
I was
okay.
going to roll in person.
I was
That
going to
would
say,
take us to 40.
I'm so sad.
I think Wizards of the
Shut
Coast...
the fuck up, Matt. Believe.
I think Wizards of the Coast probably heard our podcast, and
And went,
they heard us
"Fuck
griping
that."
and yelling and like bitching about their dice roller. So they took it down so they could retool it before putting it back up more perfect for our purposes.
They're like,
So-
we're not going to. We're not going to fix it live. We're going to take it down.
We're going to take it away from you so you can understand what the loss of it feels like. Then we're going to fix it, and then we're going to put it back and charge you 99 cents per roll.
Yes. All right, what are we
it.
rolling? What are we
Okay.
looking at here? I got a dog over here squeaking who has to go outside. So let's.
What is Index
fuck out.
673?
Wow.
Ooh.
673.
Do we go up or down?
Next time.
Uh,
Oh, Jesus, why are you laughing?
Derek's fucking revenge.
Derek's
I
Revenge, yes.
love it. Oh my God, we almost had the Incredible Hulk, but no, we get the Legend of Sarmati,
Siegfried and
and Roy.
That's right. 4-episode
This is
series
awesome.
from 1996. Nice.
It only had 4 episodes before they canned it. That's fucking awesome.
Okay, I have a challenge for us. A challenge. Can we get this?
No.
Can we get through this without a single gay joke? Can we do it?
Oh, maybe, but I don't think we can get through it without the joke about the fucking tiger mauling Siegfried.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No, that's
I
still
think we
funny.
Oh, without a single gay joke, that's easy.
Yeah, that, I mean,
this is 2022.
Yeah, that's
We're not savages
Yeah, that's
here.
distasteful. Gay jokes are distasteful. A lion
But
mauling
a
a
mauling
man?
joke? Nope, we're making jokes about that shit.
All right, and it looks like we rolled episode 2. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah,
Two of four.
It's literally a D4 where you're just like,
I like
all
it.
right, well, it's 2.
Right in the
end.
mid series when they've run out
Right in
of
the middle.
ideas.
Right halfway through the second episode where they realize that this show blows.
All right, I believe episode 2 is Kingdom of Gold.
Nice.
Ooh.
Actually, this looks like it's pretty nicely
I
animated.
love gold.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, but it also sucked. It ran for 4 shows.
Maybe it was a miniseries.
I doubt it.
Well, you'll get to research it, Derek, because you're doing this episode.
Oh yeah! Fuck yeah!
Nice,
I hope it's as
nice.
good as the one I just did. Oh, I'm retiring from this shit. I'm done. This is the best episode ever. I just literally texted my wife like tonight's show was a good one.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh God. All right.
It's beautiful.
Good.
It's so
Okay.
beautiful.
Can I watch more Starfleet X Bomber?
No,
Soon.
you may not.
God damn it!
Soon.
Don't ruin my fucking hopes and dreams like that.
Because David controls the supply.
Oh God.
He's our
the
dealer.
Imperials.
Well,
He's Captain America.
according-
He's the Imperial fleet who landed on a planet that was blowing up.
according to the deal we just made, that's the episode we're doing next week. Is episode 1.
So,
Yay!
so how are we going to determine who does the summaries? Are we just going to have Derek do all the summaries of that, if that's the case?
Oh yeah, we gotta. Who's our victim here?
That's an interesting question.
Oh God, can we do it to Mike? Can we give this to
No.
Mike and see?
No, I'm gonna violently vote against that.
I don't know.
Because-
it's sort of like a gift to him in a way.
All right, so we are doing X Bomber again next week.
Well, we are, but that's not what's going to be on the podcast.
Right, I know, but we're recording X Bomber next week. I mean, if you guys want me to do another X Bomber, I will.
You're so noble, Derek.
I will happily jump on that grenade. I kid you not. This I think has been the most fun I've had doing an episode.
Nice.
Like this, I fucking loved this show.
Nice. I'm fine with that. David, are you okay with just having Derek summarize all of it?
Do you want to do all of it? Or-
I mean, let's give it a start, and we'll see if I kind of get burned out. But like, I feel like X Bomber really kind of plays into the way that I like to summarize things, where I don't really get nitty gritty, and I'm like, and then in the next scene, she just tells him where she's at.
Yeah,
and we're just like, yeah,
we don't got a lot.
yeah, that's precisely what happened.
You
We
really
don't get a
gotta
lot of
wonder about
nuance.
Well, you gotta wonder about the nuance in like the Japanese version. Like if they actually went into details and like everything, but for the dubbing, whoever was doing the dubbing was just like, fuck it, just have her tell them where she is. It'll cut 15 minutes out of the episode.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I mean, they literally cut an episode out. They
Yeah.
cut episode 18 out because the whole thing
It's,
was nonstop
It was a clip-
flashbacks.
it was a
And
clip
then
show.
The UK
Wait,
guys were like,
yeah, it's a
you guys
it's
are
a
just
bottle
like,
show.
this is fucking stupid. Yeah, I'll do these until if I can definitely do these for the next few weeks.
Okay.
When it's just me at home. When the wife and kid are back, I think it'll be a little bit more in between, and then we can stack a couple up before we cut.
I'm
whatever.
willing to let Derek have it until he's tired.
I would be up for that too.
Thanks, guys, for giving me your vote of approval.
Because
Oh, yeah,
it kind
of
of
course.
clears me up to just make poo-poo and penis jokes.
It is nice to be, the bleacher seats on some of these. But like,
every now and again. Yeah.
I mean, when you find one that you really like, it's also really fun to be the guy who's leading the discussion.
All right, so we'll do Starfleet next week if Mike is back.
Okay. So, on a future episode of Amazingly Terrible, we'll be watching The Legend of Sarmati, Siegfried and Roy, Episode 2, The Kingdom of Gold. But next time on Amazingly Terrible, we'll be watching The Critic, Episode 21, Frankie and Ellie Get Lost.
And eventually, on Amazingly Terrible, I will be walking you guys through the entire catalog of Starfleet X-Bomber, start to finish, so we can examine this Tolkien-esque adventure through the year 2999 in October, 2 Earth months.
Is it Tolkien-esque or is it a Tokig Fest?
I just plan on drinking heavily while I review these, and it's going to be amazing.
Nice.
We're going to figure out things like, why does Princess Lamia have amazing bangs? Why is Barry Hercules so much more competent than his other two compatriots, but he's not in charge?
Yeah.
Why does Captain Commander Makarika, or whatever the fuck her name is, have bolt-on fake tits? Why is the galaxy under attack? I don't even know. We're going to just look at shit.
I just want to see the balloon animals that jerk-off monster can make out of his pecs.
That is entirely true.
Yeah, why?
Like, we don't even know what the central conflict is.
Why is Mothra abominable, like the abominable Mothra? Like, why does he have 6 pecs?
Also, it looks like he's about 4 feet tall.
Yeah. And he's got, like, antennae. Yeah.
Yeah.
Glowing gold eyes.
Yeah.
He's got fur. Like, what is he? What animal is he? I don't know.
Well,
no.
We will soon find out.
I think he's like a subspecies from Lamia's planet that they have bred as a cunnilingus machine.
But Lamia is a human, right? I mean, she's the F-01, but she's some sort of human.
I'm willing to bet that she's the princess of another alien race on another planet. If I know my stupid Japanese tropes.
I imagine that's the case as well.
Oh, okay, so the males of their species look like an abominable snowman fucked Mothra.
Yeah.
And the females of their species look like tits.
Yeah. It's interesting because like she's co-evolved with the males of her species. So she's like leading all these Earthmen along because she looks like them, but actually she's only sexually interested in the jerk-off monster.
Yeah. I'm down with that. Let's do it.
For Amazingly Terrible.
Let's get weird.
I have been the fat one.
For Amazingly Terrible, I've been the sleepy and grumpy one.
For Amazingly Terrible, I've been the pirate marooned on an unknown planet. One.
And I'll see you viewers next week. This is Barry. Go fuck yourself.
Barry fucking Hercules.
Barry with his Hercules.
Peace!
That's right. A new podcast, Star Amazingly Fleetable, is on its way. It may not be available on all platforms yet, but stay tuned to this podcast and we'll announce when Star Amazingly Fleetable is available.
I'm rewatching the robot fight right now, and there's an obvious scene where the robot swings down to blow up the missile embankments, and this is when Barry says, "Give him the old 1-2." And the first swing the robot makes it, he basically lands like 2 feet away from the embankment, and the embankment explodes with so much light that you can barely see the fuck up. But it's obvious the guy in the robot suit could not see what he was doing. It just was swinging wildly.
No, I think he could see what he was doing. Those little models are expensive. They're not going to let this guy smash him.
Yeah, but then again, they're setting the suit on fire, so they must have multiples of these things.
Well, they have more stuntmen.
That's true. I mean, the suit was made of cardboard.
The stuntmen were fungible. The models were not. Those took time.
Those take skilled man hours. There's always more stuntmen.